example. I'm using that as an example.
I understand.
And I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking. It's a slight delay. It's a slight delay. That's why I didn't want to make it seem like I'm talking over.
I'll let Azrael rock in a second. But by that logic, because black men and black women are united by oppression, then black women have a vested desire to keep black men oppressed, to maintain that unity.
That's what you got from that? I don't think.
Okay, so if black women have this advantage because black men are oppressed and afraid of the cops, then what do they do when they come across a black man like myself who is not afraid of police? I'm not afraid of police. What do they do?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're afraid of the police or not. You get pulled over and you're by yourself and you're black. You know your life is in danger. It doesn't matter. That's the point. You see what I'm saying?
My life is in danger.
It doesn't matter if you feel like that. It doesn't matter if you feel like that. It just is. Like, that's the point. Like, George Floyd probably felt like his life wasn't in danger, and you see what that happened. You see what I'm saying? What I'm telling, listen. What I'm telling you is this:
he felt like it was in danger because it was in danger.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter what you feel like in that moment.
The last time I seen the police was when I called them to get rid of a black bitch.
I feel like we're going off on a whole nother
tangent. You got it, brother.
I want to ask a couple questions to J Rello real quick. So this is my issue, right? Honestly, in your honest opinion, do you think it's healthy for a person in a relationship for two people to bond over trauma?
Is it healthy to bond over drama?
Yeah, if I say, hey,
probably not. Yeah, probably not.
So when I say that, I think not only do I think it's a bit weird, but I think it's a very negative way to start to build a foundation of a relationship. If the only thing I can relate to you, for example, is like if me and you became friends because both of our parents were on drugs or something like that. I'm just speaking hypothetically. That wouldn't be necessarily the greatest. That would be a trauma-filled and very, how should I put it?
Trauma bond.
Yes, yeah, it'll be a trauma bond, but it'll be a very incendiary, I believe that's the word, relationship. Whereas though it's very sensitive and it will spark a lot of negative emotions, right? So if I tell you the only way we can relate to each other is through negative experiences or negative emotions, that is not necessarily a healthy relationship.
Right, but in that same token, it can extrapolate some positive emotions too from those negative experiences. You see what I'm saying? It's because you got a woman that understands what a hot comb smells like on a Sunday morning. Like you got to understand that counts for something. You guys are like, y'all not even looking at the nuance of everything. Y'all looking at it like you can get better quality women.
Hold on, Jay Rillo. They have not smelled a hot comb since the invention of weed. All right, let's be clear on that. They have not smelled a hot comb since the invention of Gorilla Glue to stick in their hair. They have not smelled a hot comb since they invented wigs. Let's not pretend like we're dealing with 90s.
So we just hate our own women. We hate our own women now. We hate our own women now. Our own women are the worst thing ever.
It's not a matter of hate. Like he was saying, that trauma should not be our bond, and we should not love someone based on the struggle. That means that you fall in love with struggle. It means that you never have any motivation to improve, because the more you improve, the more you pull away from your mate.
If I could add on to that, I will argue that black men and women in America have much more in common, much more to build from, other than if they can relate to the smell of a hot comb.
Yeah, and let me just say this too. I wanted to add on to what I'm saying, right?
Agreed, it may be.
Shout out to you, Marcus. But I want to say this. Do you ever hear Jewish people say, hey, we're going to relate to each other through the Holocaust? Like, yeah, they remember it and they use it as a foundation for their culture. But when they're having a relationship,
God's chosen. and
I'm
40
sorry.
catastrophe.
I apologize. For God's chosen, you don't hear them say, the catastrophe that happened in the 20th century. Oh, we're going to this is how we relate to one another. That's not, you don't hear Japanese people say, oh, we're gonna relate to each other through Hiroshima. Like, no, that's weird. And mind you, this happened.
The Big Bang. The Big
Bang. I'm sorry, the Big Bang. The thing that the Nihonjin people think, Nihonjin people are not gonna relate to the Big Bang, right? Which happened less than 100 years ago. So it's like when I hear us talk about slavery, oh, she don't know, she wouldn't know how to relate to you because of a sense of slavery. It's just weird. And another thing too, this is my biggest issue. If what you're saying is true, then why do black women still call the police on dudes? Like, look at Sha'Carri Richardson. She was not relating to her boyfriend saying, oh, no one's gonna love you like a black woman do because we can't relate. You can relate to when you interact with the police. Meanwhile, she called the police on him.
Or you can use you can use the most recent one where that black streamer girl.
Which is a crime, by the way.
Well, Passport Creed, hold up. Let's give Marcus the mic for a second.
What you mentioned with Sha'Carri Richardson, that's a crime, by the way. I think brothers should start holding not just sisters, but just American women in general more accountable for the abuse of law enforcement and the weaponization of law enforcement for petty domestic issues. That's my thoughts on that. I didn't want to just come in and hijack the conversation because I had to get to my destination first, and I kind of missed a lot of what was covered maybe within the last 20 minutes.
We'll say what's on your mind.
No, you good. You good.
As far as the anti-Daniel situation, I have a lot of respect for the brother. I think we should be proud of him for his accomplishments, but I don't know him personally, but I was one of the first people to kind of call this contradiction and this back and forth thing out with him because I know he's more intelligent than that, first and foremost, but more importantly, he has an interview with Aaron Ferris, which is the brother who came up with the Facebook group, PassportBros. This was like once that term became popular. It was during 2020, during the scandemic, plandemic, or whatever. He had Aaron on the show, and Aaron gave point after point after point. This is where this came from. We've actually been having these conversations before PassportBros was the name. It was just a lot of factors in that year within, I guess what we could say, within the past 5 years that made this take off the way that it did. But none of this is really new. It's just striking a nerve with people that have a vested interest in keeping American men, black men in particular, in the situations that they've been in for, I would say, generations with a lack of information. There's no reason we should be limiting our ability to travel, to align ourselves with international, I don't know, I guess you could say other cultures, other people that we may have some common ground with. And there's nothing wrong with staying at home as well. But why are we tearing down each other for just exploring options? You're not going to make that make sense to me.
It doesn't.
And wait, the last thing I want to say, I'm going to step back after this. This is always and I'm not saying this about anybody on this panel. I'm saying overall, we only get to have these conversations on a low vibrational state. When I'm traveling, I'm sure Jay Rello can speak to this. And the other brother, if he got any international experiences, when we are sitting around in these places, we having breakfast, we going out ATV riding, and just being a tourist, so to speak. We're not talking about smashing all the time and mangoes all the time. That's a hot topic that will get people's attention coming from a low vibrational state. But most of the time when I'm around brothers, we're talking about the differences in the food, the differences in the music, the weather, the health journeys for brothers that's been living overseas. We're talking about business opportunities. We're talking about the way it feels having to come back into the matrix. It's a mixed feeling of, man, I got to go back to this crap. And it's maybe a source of inspiration or extra kick to get you to come back and navigate through the nonsense that we know. You don't get to have these conversations on the internet because we can't get past cheeks. And I'm very disappointed in a way that Anton is like creating a straw man fallacy to paint every brother traveling in this bad light, as if that's the only reason brothers travel, as if he's never heard these success stories, as if he doesn't know the benefit to brothers and sisters getting out of this system. We know this already. We know what we're dealing with at home. And I think you can do both. You can fight the good fight at home, and you can also go to other places to see what opportunities are available to you. It would be, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
I was gonna say that,
I appreciate that.
It's a very disingenuous argument, because I get it. I don't have a YouTube channel. I have considered making one just for the fact that I hate when people say, and this is no offense to J Rello, and I don't want you to take it personal. J Rello travels, I travel, but the way I travel is not the same as what J Rello does, right? And like I said, this is not towards you. J Rello, when you don't have you it's been a minute. I would assume that you've ever been to Europe, right? Or have you been there before?
No, I haven't been.
Exactly. So I've been to like at least 10 countries in Europe. I've traveled mostly to Europe because it's one of the more affordable flights coming from New York, right? So when they say they'll say, oh, they're like, oh, look at what so and so is doing.
And you like white women. Don't forget that point too. Go ahead.
I like it all, brother. Come on. I like us.
You prefer white women, right? Come on. No, you prefer white women.
Take all bro, you don't even know, bro. I'll be in Rio in February, my dude. No, like niggas always assume I like. I don't know.
I mean, if you like white women, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, better than
you white women. That's facts. That's just facts.
Can you remember your point? Because I really wanted to hear that. You said you go to Europe because it makes more sense coming from New York. You was going somewhere with that.
It's definitely more affordable than me going. And I've been to Tokyo, and I've been to other Asian countries, right? But if you're coming from the West Coast, it's gonna be cheaper going from there. But if you can go, literally, my ticket to Lisbon for like 12 days was like less than $500, right? I spent less.
Nice.
Right. So, and as somebody traveling just by myself, it's going to be more affordable. So they're going to be like, oh, he's just going to a third world country. Like, no, I'm going to places like Amsterdam, Lisbon, Paris. I've been to Paris like almost like 5 times, right? They're not going to ask somebody like me, be like, hey, when you're in Paris or when you meet certain people, like, what are you doing? Like, I was in Lisbon. I met people from Mozambique. I met people from Angola that I have their WhatsApp and everything. Met people, younger white dudes and a couple younger white girls, and like younger college students. They're from Germany. One of them is from Belgium. I said, hey, when I'm in France the next time, I'll come and take a train ride over to Belgium to visit you for the weekend. He was on the phone with his parents, and they're like, oh, come and meet this dude. Like, he's an American from New York, right? They're not going to ask me about questions about somebody that's traveling and making these connections. They're going to be like, oh, J Rello is in Sosua again. Oh, look at these passports. They're not gonna do any kind of discovery and research and they say, hey, yes, we know J Rello's in DR, but what about everybody else? What about Marcus? What about Andre or Andreas? What about BMT? BMT was in Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam. Like, it's a disingenuous.
But yes, they actively ignore the people that have more to offer than the usual or whatever they want, whatever they're fixated on. And I had to come to accept that people kind of see you how they want to see you. And you gotta, I don't want to say leave them where they at, but some people you definitely do have to leave them where they at.
People think.
Let me ask this, because I want to get Passport Creed in here, and then Jay Takashi. Let me ask Jay Rillo this: you described the women in Kenya as mid. Would you say that there exists somewhere a white woman that looks better than the rank and file Kenyan woman?
100%.
So,
man, that's crazy.
So in some cases you do prefer white women over black ones, right?
I mean, who is ever the more attractive between the black or the white women in question? Yeah.
And I agree. I
guess
most
that
men
is
feel
a
that way. I
distinction
think
to
that
be
attraction
made.
is an individual thing, not a race thing. But
Exactly.
No,
And I'm
yeah.
not saying. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying beauty is, as much as people say it's subjective, it's objective. I mean, nobody's gonna look at Beyonce and say she's ugly as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some women that have it. If she's black, white, brown, it's just, it's just that natural beauty that, that I'm not. This is what I'm saying. Like, we gotta be like. That's how we have these disingenuous conversations, because we can't just take out the fact that guys have a natural preference for the women of these countries that they're visiting, and that's just facts. To take that out, you're not just talking about
it. It is true.
Question.
I'm just saying, I don't feel a brother should be shamed for that. Marcus, real quick, and then we're gonna go to Passport Creed.
Okay, well, let me just remind everybody, not to try to control the show, but here we go talking about women again. My question is a follow-up for J. Rello. Now, yeah, we may have certain beauty standards for women. Do you believe, or have you experienced any differences as it relates to what the women find attractive in the men? For example, have you gone to some places and you kind of fit the more desirable man compared to other countries?
Yeah, sometimes I felt like I was like the best option 100% being in the surroundings, but I just overall feel like it's a better respect for the men in general that the overseas women seem to get down pat versus this take it or leave it attitude that come with these American women 100% for sure.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that, but I'm asking, like, have you experienced better treatment in some countries than others?
He
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something worth considering.
Let me get the Passport Creed, because I mean, I'm gonna say this, but Jay Rillo, I think that the respect factor really goes a longer way than the common struggle factor. So I'll leave it at that. Passport Creed, you got it?
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with Anton. Anton wants to be the black male messiah, to think that he's a savior for all of us men. But too bad for us, majority of us travelers, our passport is our salvation. Now, going to Rello. Now, Rello, you might be able to lie. You might be able to get over on some of the people some of the times, but you will not be able to get over all the people all the time. See, I'm one of your first your pandemic followers. I would say that. I'm one of your pandemic followers. Now, you said that, Black America has pretty much what majority of black men would need. Well, if you were leading by example, then you would not have to travel to do this entertainment, because I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot cheaper for you to travel to anywhere in the States for you to create content if you're a content traveler. Because California is a whole lot cheaper than you going to Thailand or Colombia or whatever. But you don't have to beat around the bush to just say that, hey, I'm just one of the guys that can't really get majority of the women that I want. Not no women, but I can't get the majority of the women that I want. And that traveling has a better option and more of an affordable option for me, instead of me just dibbling and dabbling with the majority of the Americanized women. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I'm gonna tell you where you're wrong. That's not true.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Hold on.
I don't want you to move past that point, though, because that's a good point.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a great point. I would be lying to my audience to say that was my experience. I still believe it's plenty of bad chicks I can get. I still believe it's still great women in my general vicinity. It's just my audience doesn't have any interest in Matrix USA content. My audience wants international content. That's like a rapper putting out rap music, then he switches to rock music. You're like, bro, I listen to you for
Rello. I'm one of your beginning followers.
And I know who you are. I know exactly who this is. This Mr. Charles, ain't it? This Mr. Charles.
This exactly is him.
Okay. Bet.
Okay. Bet. Now, hold on. Now, like I said, there was other time when you brought some girls from Gary, Indiana, on your platform, and I think you still had a good amount of following. You got a bunch of
Oh,
cash apps
picks
and
from
stuff like
Gary.
that.
Gary? Lord have mercy.
Hey, I'm just speaking of the content. Speaking of the content,
That was a once in a while thing. That wasn't an everyday thing. My content
I
has to
understand
be
that.
based. I
I understand
can't.
that.
They're not interested in if I did a Vegas fundraiser, it doesn't hit the same as we going to DR for the next 5 days. You see what I'm saying? Like that's just facts, bro. Oh my mom. I'm trying to put it in a way you can understand it, but I can't offer my subs USA content when they're saying they want me to go to Thailand for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yes,
different.
because like I said, this is a travel space. But like I said, but
Right.
during your downtime when you got to come back to the States, make money, do another funding, you could still go to other areas where you say you're the Riz God, right? You say you're the Riz master.
They
You
don't
say
have
you're
no
Riz.
interest
You say
in
you
that. They don't have. I'm telling you,
Well,
they don't have. I've
Rello,
done it
Rello,
before.
you never
I've done
even
it
Rello, you
before.
no,
hey,
you have not.
All
I
right,
want to speak to that too.
passport. Go ahead and land the plane on that because it's kind of going around. Like you're saying
Okay,
that
okay,
he's doing it for content. You're saying that he's doing it for other reasons. So let's
okay,
land the plane on that.
okay. Now, Game Changer was talking about uh, if every childless man got with a childless woman, what were the other childless men be successful to doing? Which was, you already know what the only alternative if you want to date pretty much a black woman. You have to become almost being a stepdad. Now, tying into that, if you said that there's still more women out here, why did you personally go to Punta Cana to go wife up or take serious a woman from another country that had children if you says that you can every man can find another woman that doesn't have kids?
Entertainment purposes. It's good content, bro. That's
Come on,
the
man.
best
Hey,
answer. That's the best.
That's a
I
lie.
mean,
That's a
it's
can
good
lie.
I respond
content.
to
That's a
that?
lie.
Hey, can I
That's a
respond
It's
to
lie.
good
that?
content.
You
All right.
fell in love
That's
with
my
her, bro.
answer to that. Why would I do
You
that?
fell in love
Why
with her,
would
bro.
I do
It's
that?
okay.
That sounds
Okay.
lit. On
It's
my
it's
mama.
it's it's good content and good pussy. I'm pretty sure better than Gary.
It
All
wasn't
right,
Right,
you got it.
expensive.
right.
I
It
agree with
wasn't
that.
expensive. J Rello, I, man, you got the right to put out the content you want to put out, and I understand that we do have some type of, even if it's like in our own mind, some type of obligation to give the audience what they want. But I'm only sharing this with you from my previous experiences. I've done a video in the DR as a sewer like 20, this could have been 2017, 2018. But that's when it was like super popping and Russ Taylor was out there and all that. That was one of the biggest videos I did. And part of the reason because I was showing all types of cheeks and stuff, respectfully. And I tried to switch it up and say, like, okay, this is what you can do when you're not in the hot spots and whatnot. When I started moving on to trying to showcase businesses and brothers doing life-changing experiences, my videos now get nowhere near the amount of traction as if I just showed chicks all the time. So you're right. You got a good point about that. I just want to respectfully offer this thought, something to think about. Like, at what expense? You might, yeah, it might be good for content, but what toll does that take on your integrity? This is what we're looking at with Anton right now. At some point, you got to find that space between giving the audience what they want and maintaining some form of integrity. Because I could get right back up there showing cheeks. This was the most traveling I did this year. But what am I doing? I'm showing, like, look at this Airbnb. Look at this tourist spot. Look at the price differences. Look how much eggs cost over here. That doesn't get anywhere. That's good information. But I want to maintain my integrity. And I learned back like what 6, 7 years ago. That's not the type of content creator I want to be. You got the right to be the person you want to be, but anything we put out can and will be used as ammunition against the whole. And that's all these people are doing. They're cherry picking anything that they can contort into making men traveling or passport bros. They want to use that as a pejorative to demonize and shame people back on the plantation. It's the same thing they did with the term woke, which was black consciousness. It's the same thing they've done with black fatigue. It's the same thing they've done with the Black Panthers. Every time brothers show up and we put, I guess you could say, our riz on something, the whole world pays attention to that. And with us traveling, we've had the opportunity to kind of reframe some of the negative stereotypes or even touch some of the places that don't even have a stereotype for black men. We got to really be in charge of our own image for a short time. And I think that's what they want to do, is to kind of take away from that and get ahead of the trend and stop brothers from having the success that they've had. That's my biggest concern. It's just something to think about.
I agree with you, Marcus. Right quick, Passport. Then I'm gonna go to you. Then I'm gonna go to Jay. Right quick, Marcus. I agree with everything you said, but the Panthers. Being an Oakland brother myself, I know that they were fighting for a different breed of women that were worth protecting. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I'm looking along the lines of
like woke, all the modern stuff is for modern women. And I agree with you 100%. Panthers was on some different stuff because they were dealing with different
caliber. Yeah, I can see that.
Exactly. They who actually used the hot comb. Passport. You got
it. Like I said, Anton. I look at Anton like he just created content. I don't think he's really mean what most he says, because if anybody in this in the anti passport bro sphere wanted to really know about passport bro just traveling, they can literally find Zoom to Thailand. He was one of the first. One master teacher, aka Skylar. I don't remember his last name.
Oh, yes,
Andre Lover. BMT, Black Male Travel. Damn near even O'Shea. He's damn near expat. So most of these are like the traditional, authentic passport bro or expat that did it the correct way. I mean, some other guys.
Don't forget about Austin. You got to leave him in that.
Austin Holloman. He's one of the newer versions. But like I said, Rello, me, and some other guys, we're more weekend. We can get in it for a week. Then we got to come back to the plantation where they want us.
Yeah,
but
I'm in that same boat too.
But the plantation is not the only place, because if everybody had that plantation mindset to listen to the house nigga, we would have probably never ever made it out of slavery or to greener pastures, because the house nigga was like, "Oh, we got everything we need over here from master." And then the field nigga was the one that says there gotta be something. There's a different utopia. We just have to find it. And then when that nigga come back on that nag, the house nigga's never gonna be content.
Why would he come back? I know it's a Django reference, but I don't think
to show them. If you come back on the nag and you show them like, "Hey, look, I'm on a horse. I'd have made it."
I got you, bro. I'm messing with you.
I mean, someone's coming back because
Marcus,
we'll
come back to you. Let me get to Jay. You've been waiting for a while.
Go ahead.
Hey, yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
All right. First of all, shout out to all the cats on the panel. Dropping knowledge about history and things like that, because I think cats, that needs to always be fed for anybody who wants to want to travel, or also where they're from. But I want to speak to the Anton thing first, and then but let me just say this real quick. Listen, I'm a 34-year-old cat, bro. Listen. I studied the English of Japanese. Like I said, I studied that language since I was young, and I got brothers who were in the military, who married Japanese women, literally, who've been over there for approximately 7 years now at this point. And it's like I know there are cats out there that like to travel, who cats that experience new things out there. And the thing is, they're not worried about like, like this whole this labeling of, oh, you couldn't get a girl here, so you must be a lame motherfucker. I'm like, no, those cats went over there due to either military training, or that's where they were stationed, or hey man, listen, they went over there, came back to the States, got their fucking degree, they went back over there, started traveling, and then started noticing that there are different, there are options for them. Just so they can, and not just the women from the country that they're from, but also places that they never got a chance to ever experience. But besides that, let me get to the Anton thing. Now, Anton says like very intellectual things, and I love the brother and some of the knowledge he be spitting. But there's been like too many times I've caught him on some contradicting shit, saying either on one hand, your brothers, if you can't, if you can't, if women, like I said, go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. And then there's other times, and then there'll be another stream like a couple of months later, he'll say like, well, those dudes is lames because they couldn't get women here, so therefore they, such and such, and then he'll be like, well, hey man, y'all some weird motherfuckers. And then that's what I'll part my French. I don't know if I'm cussing here or not, but he'll say things like that, and it'll throw me off. I'm like, it's either you're like you're putting on a show normally, and like I said, he is an entertainer, so I got to take that with a big ass grain of salt when he says stuff like that. But his statements have to have weight to it. I'm sorry, bro. Words have to mean something when it comes to me. You can't just say that and expect anybody to not say anything or contest you on what you're saying. Because I know too many cats who say stuff like that and they'd be like, oh no, bro, I was just trolling. Bro, you still said it though. It doesn't matter. So I don't I'm like 50-50 on this, but I agree with the brother on here. And I'm sorry I don't know everybody's names. I'm terrible with names. And like I said, the brother that has said like I don't understand what he means you shouldn't travel and all the other things. And I'm just like, you're not gonna get me to believe that that's a bad thing for cats, especially brothers who know how to travel, who are educated. So I don't understand.
Okay. Brother, you have a mic thing. I don't want to interrupt because you waited a long time, but you had a mic thing going on real bad, in and out, and then it sounds like the plane is in the background. Yeah. But no, we get the gist of what you're saying. Anybody want to respond? Anybody want to respond?
I would say if he ain't speaking, maybe he want to mute up because that his background is kind of real loud. That's the only I'm thinking because I can hear his clip.
Can I be heard? Can I be heard?
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, I'm sorry about background. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Can you?
No. Your mic's better now. I guess you must turn off that noise cancellation.
Oh, okay. Because I'm connected to my Bluetooth and I'm in my truck. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure I have any background noise.
Can I be heard? Can I be heard?
Yeah, you got it, bro. Go ahead.
All right. Shout out to you, Game Changer. Shout out to the panel. Game Changer, I heard you say this one time because I've been going back through the files of the Black Manosphere on Bernard Riley channel. And you brought up a great point on that channel that I'm going to apply to this situation. You were talking about one time on that channel about Black Men Free Agency. Black Men Free Agency. And you were talking about how people get upset when Black men exercise their free agency. And you did a masterful job of talking about tricking. I remember you were talking with some guy about tricking. And essentially, the guy was trying to shame Black men for tricking, and I don't do that. But it came down to one simple concept that applies to this. Black Men Free Agency. Let me tell y'all something, gentlemen, that all y'all need to hear, and everybody in the chat need to hear this. You are a free Black man. You have every legal right, moral right, ethical right, and spiritual right to date and mate with whoever you want, of any color, of any age, as long as they legal, anywhere on this planet, period. You cannot say that you support black male free agency and you hating on what the black man choose to date. That's an oxymoronic position. It doesn't make any sense. That's off the top. So right off the top, anybody that got any criticism towards what a black man do in dating and mating, and it's not illegal, ask them one question. Do you support black men having the right and freedom to date and mate whoever they want? Then why the hell are you hating on what they choosing to do? That's number one. Number two, Anton Daniels is the beginning. He's not the end. I'm going to say something on this panel that all of you guys need to hear. Right now in this country, as more and more black men choose to not fool with this dysfunctional community that we all come from, they're going to get desperate because they're looking for cleanup men. Somebody got to clean up this mess that these people have made.
Preach.
And the Passport Bros have said, guess what? This is what the Passport Bros have said. They've said, guess what? I know you think I'm lame. I know you think I'm a nerd. I know you think I'm into Asian culture. I know you think I'm into white women, Latino women, straight hair, skinny women, all kinds of stuff. And you probably very angry at me and you don't want to give me any time of day. But guess what? I'm not going to stay here and clean up your mess. That's what's going on here. Anton Daniels and others are angry because they want brothers that are millennial age. I'm a millennial, right? I would argue from Generation X, the middle of Generation X was about 51, 50 years old on down. X, Y, and Z, those black men have said, we are not going to clean up this mess. It's not going to happen. So he is the beginning. He's not the end.
Was your first point a shot at me, sir?
No, it's not a shot at anybody on this panel.
I was the only person that said something about somebody being criticized for dating a woman outside their race abroad. So
that's let me say this.
He was referencing conversations I had with Bernard Riley. I know it seemed like it was coming at you, and I
wasn't coming at you.
Okay, cool. Okay,
cool. But let me say this on that point though, and I'm gonna say this, and this is talking directly to you. If you say you support black men having free agency, then you cannot be against them choosing whoever they want to be with. That's cold.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that though. I didn't say that. I said part of the reasons why he was traveling back and forth to Europe is you would specifically have to actually like white women, and that was my point. I wasn't criticizing white women. I was saying the part of the reason why he likes to travel frequently to Europe was his interest in white women. It just makes sense. You're not going to
hold on. Let me just ask this. Is there something wrong with a black man who is primarily attracted to white women?
That's debatable. That's a very debatable.
That's the problem.
Right quick. Which side would you debate on?
I could see both sides, so I would kind of I could play either. So I could say you should stay true to your people, or I could say, I just like white. You see what I'm saying? It just all depends on why you like women. Do you actually think they're more attractive than black women on average? Do you? It's certain. It's a lot of nuance.
I'll put it like this. My primary attraction is Ethiopian women. I think that they're the most attractive women on the world, next to Eritrean, which is the same people.
Oh my God, Eritrean women! Oh my God!
Yeah, exactly. However, I do like the fact when I smack a white woman on the ass, I can see the handprint afterwards. I will never take that away from them. That is something that black women of any race cannot offer. And I don't think that we as men should be ashamed at liking seeing our handprint on a red white ass. There's nothing wrong with that.
You can find that on a few red balls. They got some red balls.
But you gotta smack harder.
The yellow balls.
But you gotta smack harder. In order to do that, you gotta smack harder.
For that brother that said I can take two sides of the argument. Well, when you do that, that's an oxymoronic position to say you support black men having free agency. That there's no gray area on that. Either you support black men choosing who they want to date and mate with, or you don't.
I want to say this though. I have to say this. So, JRL, it's crazy to me. This is why I recommend, and I don't know what Man of Tomorrow is talking about, which is crazy to me because here's the thing. Do you guys don't even understand? This is why a lot of you guys need to travel outside of the Caribbean, and it's no diss, but you got to understand if a lot of the European countries colonized parts of Africa, don't you think that there are a lot of African countries that African people from specific countries immigrate to these countries? Like, I'll give you a prime example. You know how many people speak Portuguese? Like, you got people from Angola. I've made friends with people that are from Angola. I've made friends with people that live in that from Mozambique. You have people from what's called Sao Tome and Principe, which is off the coast of Africa. And I didn't even mention any Brazilian people. I didn't even mention Cape Verdean people, right? So I went to Lisbon. You automatically assume it was nothing but white people. It's like there are enclaves of black people in these places, just like there's enclaves of black people in America. As a matter of fact, first time I went to Paris, I was shocked at how much black people were there. I can honestly say that there are probably more black people in Paris than they are in New York City. My
point is this. My point is real simple. It's real simple. Either you support black men dating whatever color woman he want on this planet, or you don't. You cannot say, I support black men free agency. I support them choosing to do whatever they want. But you know what, though? It's kind of sell out and coonish if you ain't dating a black woman. That's an oxymoronic position.
That's not the point. That's not the point. That's y'all missing the whole argument. You're missing the whole argument.
What's the point? What's the point?
The point is, what is the disdain for our own American black women we have here? It's just like guys are like, you have no attraction at all to your own kind. This is mind-boggling,
bro. You're making no sense.
What can do?
See?
Okay. I'll respond to that because no one. It's not really a matter of if we're talking about physical preference, which is what you were stating about Azriel. You know, you're assuming that he had a physical preference. That doesn't mean he has disdain. Like I say, my physical preference is Ethiopian. It doesn't mean I have a disdain for, LA face and an Oakland booty. It doesn't mean that I'm against any of those things, brother. It means that, the things that I like, pouty lips, almond eyes, smooth skin, and, just their cheekbones and stuff comes in higher frequencies there than here. When it's a physical preference, it doesn't mean that you hate something else. It just means
that you can like one without hating the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Does everybody understand what the definition of dating freedom is? That's my question.
Yes, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, but it's past dating freedom. This is outright goddamn discrimination at this point. These niggas hate their own black women, boy. I don't know
that's why they have the plantation rules.
Who are you talking about? Who
I'm talking about the way the general perception of how the passport views of black American women. It's just like no attractiveness at all. Like, bro,
they don't have to be attracted to the black American woman.
Understand this. Just like I say, the features that some men like are in higher concentrations in certain groups of women, right? Now, I will say this: the features physically that men don't like, are in higher concentrations in the black female American community. And that is fat. Yes. They're 80% fat or obese. That is hair. Men like natural hair. Men of all races like natural hair, maybe of varying textures, but they like it to be natural. That's something that, is not in high concentration in the black American female demographic, and then there is supportive and pleasant culture and demeanor. They don't have that either. And then there's good mothering, high cues, and a nice smell. Like, the things that we like, they do not have in high concentration. So
that's not true, bro. That's not even true, yo. That's not true, yo.
Okay,
Stop the cap, bro.
Okay,
You over here trying to bootleg the black American woman. Shut up.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What physical features made the Kenyan women mid?
Yeah, I want to know
They
that.
overall, they just the attraction, their physical attraction wasn't there. But what I'm thinking is at the skin tone. I think it's the skin tone.
No, I understand that, but you do understand that some places have higher concentration of physically unattractive women, right?
But that doesn't make no sense. I don't think it's just that. I think it's the skin tone. I think it's our skin. It's our own black skin. That's my conclusion out of this whole situation. Niggas ain't attracted to their own skin tone.
So you're saying PassportBros are colorist?
Is this the same person
PassportBros are colorist sexually attractiveness. It's a part of their sexual attraction that is colorist. Yes, I am saying that on the live today.
Somebody could take that soundbite and turn it into a whole different situation.
It's facts. I don't care what they said. That's facts.
Those are your facts. Very respectfully.
It's
your opinion.
Part of what they're sexually attracted to is colorist. Period.
Okay. Understand this.
Didn't you say the Kenyan?
I don't think y'all understand what dating freedom is. I don't.
Hold on, guys.
I don't think you do. I don't think you understand what dating freedom is.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Game Changer's trying to speak. Hold on.
All right. Jay Rillo. If black men have a preference for light-skinned women, so what?
That matters. That means something. So when you got the black women that are uproaring saying like, we not getting chose by these men because they're not sexually attracted to them, that's valid now. That's the point. So the own women, you get what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at the consequences. Every decision has consequences behind it. That's the point. So if you say I'm not sexually attracted to this colorist demographic of women, that alienates millions of women that have potential husbands and fathers and kids. It has a ripple effect that you're not even understanding. So what I'm telling you on this live is, out of my trips and years of doing this, I have discovered that a large majority of the PassportBros sexual attraction is colorist by default.
But you started with yourself.
Including yourself.
Hold on, Marcus.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
All right, let me say this. Okay. Who shoots down whom more?
You beat me to it. I was just gonna say
dark-skinned black women or dark-skinned black men.
Say what you said again. That was to me. I thought that was in general.
I'll be clear. Okay, so who shoots down whom more? Do dark-skinned black women shoot down black men more, or do black men shoot down dark-skinned black women more?
I mean, I wouldn't. Of course, I wouldn't have no real statistics for that. I mean, I would just be going off my own.
You really got to think about it.
I mean, I feel like it's more black men shoot down dark-skinned women now. The way I'm looking at it now, I'm starting to see that men do not have a natural attraction for melanated women in general. And I didn't know it was this bad until I got into this space. And I was like, y'all niggas.
Then you're part of the problem, Relo, because you've been going to the Dominican Republic.
Fellas, hold on.
Okay. My bad.
Hold on. Let me say this. Did a dark-skinned woman shoot your ass down in Africa?
Yeah.
How many African?
Can you drop them, please?
Wait, hold on, brother. Hold on. How many dark-skinned African girls did you shoot down in Africa?
Everybody was dark-skinned, so it didn't.
Yeah. So no. Listen to me. Hold on, Marcus. Hold on. So everybody's dark-skinned in Africa. So did you get like a flock of Kenyan girls and you had to shoot them down? Or were you flocking after the dark-skinned women and getting shoot down when they say, and I quote, "Nigga, I'm leaving"?
What does this have to do with the point that a large demographic is not attracted to black women?
Listen to me. My point is that your whole theory that we're turning down millions of black women is bullshit. The truth of the matter is embracing dark-skinned women do not guarantee you one. They are not sitting at home with empty pussies hoping that Jay Rillo feels it. That is not what's going on. What's going on is that they just are looking for more niggas to shoot down. So if you're gonna get shot down, brothers, then you need to get shot down by your choice. I'm gonna go to Ethiopia and get shot down by a bad bitch.
You're damn right.
Exactly.
That sounds like some coke, man. That sounds like coke.
Go to Ethiopia and get
That sounds like coke, man. Why we just can't admit that niggas ain't attracted to black women because of socialization, man?
I'm saying that black men are not obligated to. Black men are not obligated to be attracted to anything. I like what the fuck I like. And if I want to watch two Asian women in the Philippines fight each other with swords, and then bow to me and say, have I pleased you, master? Then that is what the fuck I want. And I'm not ashamed of it. If I want them to dress up like memoirs of a geisha, I'm going to do that. If I want to put on a schoolgirl uniform and talk Japanese to me, then that's what the fuck I want. And I'm not going to apologize.
Can I add to what Game Changer saying? I want to add on to what Game Changer saying. Now, I don't want to knock anybody in the panel. I don't want to knock y'all preferences. I love black women. I love black American women. In addition to that, I love the women in the countries that I travel to that rock with me. So I rock with who rocks with me. My question is, where are the black women at that's checking for me? Game Changer beat me to that. I was going to say that earlier. If I love black women, I'm from Chicago. I'm 5'5". I ain't never getting no taller. I make 6 figures. Single, no kids. I'm in good shape. Where are the women that's checking for me? They don't come with a bunch of bags.
Let me answer that. What the masses will say is that it's your fault because you don't have enough game to get one of these black women in America, in your area.
And that's why they don't like brothers traveling, because you can surpass all that. I don't have that problem.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Let me make myself clear, and I want to make this crystal clear because I don't know everybody's name, so I'm not trying to. I don't want to say no one's wrong name, but let me say this: Game Changer. That argument you just gave was the same argument I heard on Bernard Riley, and it was good. It was golden back then. And it's still golden right now. Let me say this. I'm going to make it very plain and clear. If a black man in America wake up and say, I don't want to date someone who's smoky black. I don't want to date someone who's red bone, brown bone, nappy hair, curly hair, weave, dye, big, fat, Lizzo shape, whatever he say. My argument is real clear. He has every right legally, morally, ethically and spiritually to choose to do whatever he wants, period. Either you support that concept or you don't. There is no gray area.
Hold on now. If he's a real man, you'll be able to get one of these black queens. You'll be able to get one of these black queens over here.
Let me finish, sir. Let me finish. Because that's the major problem, and Game Changer identified it 5 years ago on Bernard Riley, and it's still the same problem on his panel. We don't want to accept dating and mating freedom, especially for black men. We can't accept it. We just can't accept that. So what if my brother show up at home with Lizzo? It's his house. He's paying for it. God damn it, he paid the cost to be the boss. That's his dick. I don't care. See, that's the problem. You cannot slide in some pro-black consciousness guilt trip of saying my people, and this is wrong that you don't want to choose this skin color. It's his dick, his money, his life, his choice. Deal with it. There's no gray area on that. That's cold, brother. That is rock solid code. You cannot say you support dating and mating freedom of anybody, especially black men, and you don't like what he bring home. Now, if he in your house under your roof and you putting food in his stomach, goddamn it, you can tell him whatever the hell to do. But I'm in my house in Southern California, in the mountains, 5,000 feet up. And if I want Big Booty Becky to come through, if I want Big Booty Suane or Maria or whoever come through, that's called dating and mating freedom, sir. You don't have to like it, but you got to accept it. That's cold, sir. There's no way out of that. That's my point. And Anton Daniels does not want black men to have freedom. He wants you to come back to the community and clean up the mess. And the Passport Bros are saying, no thanks. We don't want to do that. We're exercising our freedom. That's it. That's my code right there.
It's also worth mentioning, coming back to the so-called community, you're also coming back to the laws that subjugate black men. You're coming back to the police harassment that we don't deal with overseas. You're coming back to the food options that we've already discussed.
Let me stop you right there. Let me make this, I'm going to make it even clearer. There are only 3 laws in dating and mating in America. Only 3, and I support all 3. Number 1, you cannot grape somebody. We all know what that is. You cannot force anybody to be with you. Number 2, you cannot SA somebody, meaning you cannot date grape. You can't slip something in someone's drink. They have to give you consent. And number 3, the person has to be of age to give consent, i.e. pedo. I support those 3 laws. Let me finish, sir, because this is very important. This is very important, what I'm saying. I want to make it very crystal clear. In dating and mating in America, there are no rules and regulations outside of those 3 things. There are no rules and regulations. Period.
I respectfully,
in dating and mating, I want to make that very clear. So
I have to disagree on that.
There's some kind of rules against black men, and they're not on the books. Interracial dating is fully legal. Loving versus Virginia. All right,
brother, I agree.
And Game Changer talked about. I heard him say, I kind of got this from him. Shout out to Game Changer. I got this from him from Bernard Riley's show. He had to tell.
Okay, I appreciate it.
But,
okay, brother. So wait, you're saying paternity? But I agree with you on the first 3, sir. I'm speaking in regards to things that we may not consider laws, but they're policies that work against us. For paternity fraud, for example. Why are we still dealing with paternity fraud? Why are we dealing with biased family courts as it relates to child support and alimony?
Let me stop you. You're talking about and let me make it very plain again. When I say dating and mating freedom, I'm talking about the individual having the legal right to choose to do what they want to do in dating and mating. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, sir. I agree 100% with you on that.
All right. So because what you're asking about is a result.
Yes, the strings attached
from a choice. You understand?
Yes.
And there is consequences for choices. We already agreed to that. My point is very clear. There is no law telling black men that they gotta date American black women. Period. That's the law. That's a fact. You can't dispute that. And I'm also saying conceptually and theoretically, you cannot say you support dating and mating freedom, free agency, and you still trying to shame them and guilt them into dating somebody based on some ethnicity, country, or skin color. That's an oxymoronic position. You are completely off.
I do find that
you are completely
off. That Jay Rillo would say this of all people, because he called the entire country mid. So a country full of dark-skinned black women mid. So for him to say y'all don't like dark-skinned black women because we don't find the women in Gary, Indiana hot, that's I don't even know where to start to unpack that at, to be honest. I mean, I wish we were still here.
I can unpack it. It's real simple. I don't care if you don't like them because they got nappy hair. I don't care if you don't like them because they fat, because they got chicken pox skin, because they got red weave in their head. Whatever that man don't like, whatever that man like, he has every right, legal, morally, and spiritually, and ethically, to make his decision.
So do you think he has the right? I agree with you. He has that right, but what he's attempting to do is to take his own preferences and apply that to other people. That's what he did on this panel.
I got a response to that. That's called the quote unquote the classic everyone got an asshole and some stink more than others. That's his opinion. Period. Period. He can have that opinion. He has every right to have that opinion. But let me tell him something. Everybody got opinions like assholes, and some stink more than others. So that's all I want to make the claim. That's what I want to make on, because Game Changer, I think this is brilliant that you're making the same argument, which tells me that you consistent and true in what you're talking about. Go back and listen to Bernard Riley. Bernard Riley, in my opinion, that man need an award. That man channel had so many arguments on there that Game Changer, Alan Roger Curry, Obsidian, and Angerman and others, they were getting into real world situation, real tough questions, and they were finding solutions. And I heard this from Game Changer. Notice, I'm giving this man credit. And let me stop right here. It's a goddamn shame that nobody don't say King Sigma. King Sigma is the originator of the phrase Passport Bros. Go to his channel. That's a damn shame that nobody gives that man his credit. They don't give that man his fucking credit. King Sigma has always been the people. I would sue everybody who is infringing on. I hope he copyrighted that phrase. He came up with that. I did the history on the Black Manosphere. I know it. I'm new to this shit, and I know the real ones from the fake ones. GC, you a real one. You are a real one. You're making the same argument that was 5 years ago. So you cannot tell me you support Black American Men Free Agency and you don't like that they don't like dark-skinned women. That's what agency is, brother.
Does anybody here disagree with
that? No, I agree. I want to move to what's on the screen here, where he's saying, I like some red bones. They kind of have skin tone of what's that? Bella Hadis? What is that? Of the world. Okay, here's the thing. I don't really care much about a woman's skin complexion. And I didn't even know what a red bone was until I started talking to Southerners. Like, it's not a big deal. And Shay Sade could vouch for it. You know, Shay Sade is going through this whole back and forth with Chrissy and you know, over colorism. And Shay Sade is a dark-skinned woman, and she says she has, you know, she has light skin. Well, right quick. She says she has light skin sisters, and you know, grew up in the same place. It's not a big deal. We grew up in a world where that's not even like a major beauty factor, and it's not, you know. So when people are using it as a shame tactics, it just roll off my shoulder because it's dumb. That's like the color of a car. The color of the car is really, yes, it's somewhat important, I guess, after all the other factors are taken into place that determines the value of the car. Then you'd be like, okay, with everything else in place, you know, it's electric, it gets this many miles per charge, it takes this long to charge, you know, it looks like this, it has these features in it. Okay, I'm gonna get this one. Do you have it in red? That's what it's like. It's not that big of a deal. And if they don't, that's okay, because you still like the car. It's not that big of a deal for people. And I know he's not necessarily a Southerner, but still, some people just got it in their head that it's a bigger issue than it is. It's not that big of an issue. I still don't even know what a red bone is. We just call light-skinned women light-skinned, and we don't have like 5 different names for light-skinned because y'all eat chillins.
I got a roll, but shout out to you, GC. Shout out to everybody on the panel. I don't care what you like. If you like Lizzo, if you like Tyra Banks, if you like Beyonce, or if you like white women, I love white women. And ain't nobody gonna tell me what to stick my dick in. All right, you are free to do it. You're not on the plantation, black men. You are free black men. You can go wherever you want in the world. I support that 100%. And if you choose to stay here, and if you choose to be a cleanup man, don't come bitching to me about it, because I'm not cleaning up no mess. I gotta roll, y'all. Peace out, man. Shout out to you, Game Changer. Shout out to you, brother. Gotta go.
All right, peace. Make sure you hit that like button before you go.
Oh man, I got a headache.
Peace. I don't think any of us disagree with the brother.
Oh, on what part? On what point?
When he was basically highlighting your initial point that you can't be both at the same time of wanting to advocate black male agency, free agency, and at the same time saying come back to the plantation. I agree with him 100% on that. And he gave you credit saying that you mentioned that on Bernard Riley's channel. I don't think, well, y'all can let me know if anybody disagree with that. I mean, I'm 100% with him on that.
No, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree
I've
with
said
you.
it on my own channel a long time ago. I'm pro options for men.
Listen, what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, we as black men, we definitely need to reassess what we seek in a mate. This whole, oh, I love her because we struggled together, or she understands my struggle. That doesn't increase the value of a woman. Or I love her because, if I don't, I would be brainwashed or colorist. That doesn't increase her value, which is why
if I
black
don't
women
get with her, I hate her. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why black women haven't been working on their value. They feel like they don't have to go to the gym. They don't have to lose weight because, I'm gonna get a dude because he's struggling, because he's afraid of the police. So he gotta come to me. I mean, and we're making it clear, and this is what the Passport Bros are doing, and brothers like myself, we're making it clear, like, listen, I don't have to deal with you because I'm afraid of the cops, which I'm not. I mean, so y'all got to come different. Y'all got to come with some collarbones. Y'all got to come with the slim waist, pretty face with the big one. Y'all have to. It's
you either
not
gotta compete or complain, and it's a whole lot of complaining.
you know what's funny? I was on Platch stream, right, and they were talking about the same exact thing. That a girl came on there, and she said, "Oh, black people don't like each other in Arizona, and basically on the West Coast, right?" And basically what she's trying to say is that, oh, black men don't date black women in Arizona. I'm like, no, that's not true. I said the issue is that if you're on the West Coast, you have, as a black woman, you have to be in shape because the type of men that you want, they have their options because it's not like Atlanta or Alabama, or as Game Changer loves his favorite state, Mississippi. You're dealing with women that are from Asia. You're dealing with biracial chicks. You're dealing with white women, dealing with Hispanic women in those areas in LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, all them places, right? And of course Arizona. You can't just be a regular degger black woman like you are in Atlanta and think, oh, I can just pick a black man gonna pick me. There's competition to be had, and the kind of man that you want is not just gonna settle for you. That's why they come back like, oh, I can't stay in Arizona, or I can't stay in so and so California city because the black men, they don't like black women. It's like, no, you're overweight. Come to find out, and there's no hate on her. We asked her what was her weight. She said she was 5'5" and almost like 170. I'm like, ma'am, you over 30 pounds overweight. I said, if you lost like 35 to 30 pounds, you can get those quote unquote men. She's like, oh, I get them. I don't have no issue getting them. But when I speak to them, their whole mindset is off. And they saying, oh, I'm the first black woman they ever dated. Like, they don't usually go for black women. That doesn't make any sense. If you're saying the men don't like you, but then you can get those men, or the black men don't like black women there, but you can still date them, but you don't like
smash them.
Yeah, but then it's like you're saying, oh, I can get them, but then their mindset is that I'm the first black woman they dated and they don't go for black women. It's like you're trying. You don't want to say that you've been rejected by those men, but then you come to find out you're not getting with those same men. So it's it's a lot about a competition, man. We know this. We went to school. We know about monopolies.
And on that note, I'm gonna respond to what they were saying in the chat room. It says, black men got to stop letting black women lie. On the West Coast, it's black women who don't want black men. Listen, I do not care. I understand that it's a competition. I understand that. I don't care. Like, I don't expect you to compete with white, Asian, and Latino women, and me not compete with white, Asian, Latina men. I have been doing that since I played chess in junior high. I've been doing that since Math Olympics in elementary school. I have always competed with them. I do not care. Right. And truth be told, and this is what I get just from talking to brothers from all over the country. I think I grew up a lot different, and yes, the women here understood from a very young age that they have to compete. Shout out to Shay Sade. Shay Sade said that she used to be a biggin. She used to be a biggin, and she knew that wasn't gonna fly. She knew that she would not have the husband she has today if she was like that, because she got to compete with, she had to compete with Sweet Thing, Ling Ling, and Maria. she understood that, because we got them all here. We got them all here in the Bay. She understood that, and she got her husband, and all this stuff. She got her perfect life because she understood at a young age that she's not going to get what she wants being a fat broad. She knew that, That's why here they either, shape up or ship out to Mississippi. It's an exodus of big broads that leave.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing when it's in your face. I mean, because like I think social media and the internet, all these dating apps and followers and stuff, it gives like that impression that people have more options with what they have. But I could see that being, depending on where you live at, yeah, the competition is like right in your face.
Yeah, exactly. It's right in your face. And it's easy for a woman who lives in not Miami, Florida, or a group of women who live in not Miami, Florida, to play the whole monopoly game. I get it. They could say like, listen, if I see you with one white woman, you will lose out on opportunities with 100 black women because they are the majority. So they can, they can play that game with you. It doesn't really work that way. I mean, the whole solidarity thing, the solidarity thing is fine when the people are solid. Like, if somebody said you can only shop at black owned grocery stores, I'm like, okay, I'll do that as long as they give me a fair price and decent quality. Unless that happens, I'm leaving. I mean, I'm gonna go for better price and quality. Like that's, you gotta be reasonable. You can't let somebody weaponize solidarity. Unfortunately, they have done that for a long time.
Yeah, it's worked on a lot of people. Well, yeah. I'm agreeing with you. It's worked for a long time. I see the internet being a double-edged sword. I know I've contributed to that. Some of the other guys that do videos have contributed to that, where we give people a window to the world who may not have left home otherwise. And yeah, that might come with blowing up the spot or having some Pookies and Ray Rays in places that they weren't before. But yeah, it's inevitable. I think this is a can that won't close. You didn't open Pandora's box and it's not closing. So in my opinion, the best recourse of action would be to change the behavior at home if you want to attract these certain guys. If you genuinely want to do that, as far as the ladies, but the guys, the shaming of the guys, that's not gonna fly at all. Like we're having this conversation. The younger people are not even entertaining it. How do I know this? Because I'm out on the beach with them. I'm out in Thailand with them. They've been around longer than I have. These guys work remotely. These are guys that's got all types of different side hustles, and they're not even here to be going back and forth with the Anton Daniels or the Dr. Umars. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you're right about the young dudes. The young dudes aren't even, and trust me, it's not out of hate. I'm pretty sure it's equal opportunity.
No, it's not.
They give like equal opportunity, and this is just so happened to be who won. There was this young dude I seen. He was hitting golf balls at Top Golf, and he was just messing with one of them. But I was like somewhat eavesdropping into their conversation. It was like 4 white chicks that it was 4. No, it was 4 people. It was 3 white girls and him, and of course he was only seeing one of them. But the way that they were talking, like it was just like a regular young people conversation. If I had to guess, it was probably like 18, 19. It's just like regular young people conversation. It wasn't on those, F these black chicks or I got me a white chick or nothing like that, which is what a lot of black women are doing when they, when they're with Brad or whatever. This was just like a regular thing that they had going on. And the other 2 chicks, who were single, they wasn't on some, do you have any friends on some BBC stuff? They just like, they would have found, if they found a white dude that they liked, it'll be him, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not about hate or anything like that. It's about, opening up your opportunity and let the best woman win and be the best man, because they're going to open up their opportunities too. I'm with it. I'm with the challenge. I mean, the heavyweight champion, Muhammad Ali wasn't the heavyweight champion of black people. Like, he's like, listen, I am going to have to compete in a world level. Like, this is, if I'm going to be the best. It'd be nice if you only have to compete with, a smaller demographic of people, but the world isn't set up that way. And black women need to catch on, because they are losing the competition. So whatever edge that they had, because, I understand your struggle, that doesn't even, first of all, it works under the assumption that other groups of people in the world don't understand black struggle.
Right.
I mean, kind of like we can understand the struggles of any culture that we have intimate knowledge about. Not necessarily intimate knowledge, but, that we have a lot of knowledge about. I can understand that. I mean, I don't really need
if anything,
to go for it.
I'm just agreeing with you. If anything, it kind of gives you maybe some commonality, or at least more empathy towards the different struggle. And in my personal experience, it kind of took some people off of the high horse coming back home. Like, I would go places and come home and have, like, for example, I work with Dominicans. I've never been to the Philippines, but I've worked with Filipinos, a few Thai people. But, like, yeah, these people have learned, this guy knows my country. I just saw this person over here. France, I've been to Paris. Only European countries I've been to is Paris, or France, I should say, the UK, and Greece.
Mm-hmm.
I come back home. I mean, of course, I want to look for the food, so I might end up going to the restaurants here. It gives me more to have conversations with people about here, but it also kind of elevates my status to there. Know, like, okay, this guy has been some places and knows some people, so let me not look at him as the stereotypical N-word. I think what a lot of this traveling is doing is also fracturing the misconception that Black American men are not desirable outside of the Black community, outside of the snow bunnies. Like, we have a wide range. I mean, I'm not saying everybody wants the Black man, but we do have options.
And it's okay if you do want to say that. And to me, I think that is a double-edged sword, because I often found myself in ethnic envy about Asian men all across Asia, including places like India and stuff, who can openly say, I like white women, where the white women at? And nobody, especially not other Asian men, really come at them, and not Asian women, and I think that the reason that they could comfortably do that is because Asian girls know that white women aren't checking for them like that. Keep it so they're not threatened. They're not threatened by what their preference is, because, Asian women are like, I don't care what your little dick prefers. However,
Right.
However, when Black men say it, they feel threatened, like, oh my God, So yeah, there's this push, and that's why they're keeping struggle up. They like, oh no, we want to keep this struggle going. We want to make sure that they're still, and truth be told, I think that's why they're causing this Black fatigue. I really do, to drive a wedge between Black men and other races of people, so they'll be isolated in this community.
Yeah, it only works here, from what I can see.
Yeah, it's only effective here. I mean, but they're cheering when a Black man gets shot, because then it's like, oh, okay, so that's one less man messing with that can cross over.
But Becky,
because, we're part of the same struggle. Yeah, exactly. So, or anything, we're part of the straight. I understand it, and it's funny because they're marching too. And they've
What you
always
mean by
been
that? You say they
marching,
marching
and they've
too?
always been abolitionists. I'm talking about non-black women are marching
Oh,
too.
okay.
Non-black women are they were at the sit-ins too. Non-black women were also abolitionists. We can't discount that either. Rachel Dolezal just went retarded with it. So let's not pretend like they don't understand or have the same understanding as you. Take a look at your screen.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm trying to see who this is. This one particular chick, or is it just the Asian? No, oh no, I know. Yeah, that's the actress. What's going on with Jackie Harry?
Said something about they can have the way real quick. And the case of that is Jackie Harris when she was on 227. She got, this is the shape. This is the shape that we like. But
yeah,
then
I remember.
I know that these chicks just be one half a piece away. Yeah, exactly. From going into complete shit. Who was that other woman on Living Single? Who's that other woman on Living Single? And then she was on like The Biggest Loser. What's her name?
The light-skinned chick that played kind of the bubbly role.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know her name, but I got two that's coming to mind.
Like it be.
And she hit the wall.
No, it's cool when it's cool, right? It's cool when it's cool. Like she looks like a be like teetering with fat. They be teetering with it, and you know that you can't pull a baby out of them, or else they'll be fat. They'll be fat.
Right.
You pull one baby, and there's no snapback. It is what it is. Like Erica Alexander, she can snap back if she wasn't on some feminist stuff. But
that's really the deal breaker for me. I mean, I'm not saying I'm looking for the BBWs. I didn't pay my dues with them, but
look at
even if I were to be cool, go ahead. What you say?
Hold on, it's coming up.
We'll see. Yeah, that's who I was thinking about. So that's an older picture of her.
Also, damn it.
Yeah, she was a baddie.
But no, Kim Phil's always been, a cutie. She's older than me, actually.
And so what happened with her? She was on The Biggest Loser.
Yeah. She plumped up. So this is her, because she was also on but see, sometimes they blow up like balloons. Sometimes they'll be blowing up like balloons.
Yeah, you can't have both. You can't blow up like a balloon and
is what I'm
have the Big Shirley mentality.
Like
I don't know if you kind of borging out on my end. I'm not sure if it's my connection or.
It's probably mine because it happens more when I share screen.
Okay, yeah, I hear you now.
Can I say? I just want to ask something. So this guy in the chat, right? His name is Jason, and somebody had blocked him, and I understand why, but he had said he couldn't believe what we were saying, and I asked him in Spanish, like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Oh, you have to respect your wives," right? Because he said he's shocked by what he's hearing, and I told him, like, I said "y hermano," which is like, but it's supposed to be my man, but I'm like, I told him like we don't have wives here, bro. He's like you need to respect your wife. He's like he can't believe we're quote unquote bashing the woman. He's like you need to respect your wives, and I'm like there are no wives here, man. Like he said he's gonna just keep listening.
Respect is a mutual thing.
Okay, that whoever did that, that's not a blockable offense.
Yeah, he's from Ecuador. He said he's shocked by what he's hearing. But
yeah, that's not a blockable. Nevertheless, that's not a blockable offense. Whoever blocked them, don't do that. Don't do stuff like that. You know,
I'm not even trying to snitch on them either. I'm just saying it's funny though. But
no, like whomever y'all could bring him back because you know that's a fair question. I would say
you got
try to get with our wives and find out. I would say that.
He said he's gonna tune in to see what we're talking about to get a better understanding. And I said,
yeah, exactly. You actually have to experience it to understand that. I mean, you know, I never really say how could you do that without understanding the circumstances which made a person do that.
And they can't even get that far if they don't want to understand. Some people choose to misunderstand.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so I was in Colombia, and the tour guide, he made his opinions about everything, which is probably not the most professional thing in the world, but he really made clear of the groups of people that he liked and disliked. Chief of which being Venezuelan people. And but he did say that while living in Colombia as a Colombian man who studied in New York is not really into Colombian women like that. He said that they're gold diggers, which I found interesting because you would assume that he makes more money than a typical Colombian. In fact, I know we do, considering how much we paid for the tour. So I'm just like, wow, like, you know, he's looking to leave. And I don't say, you know, I can't believe you think like that or this, and this. It's more like, all right, I want to know where you're coming from. He's like, yeah, I studied in New York. I know English. I have this tour company, you know, and, you know, women just see me for money here, you know, like all the women. There's a lot of beautiful women here, but they can't see past. And from what I was getting from him, he was saying that things were better when he was poor, which I found very interesting. And I'm not going to question this, right? Like, how can you say that about your women? I don't question that. He says it because he's lived his experience with them.
And he's Colombian.
That's how he says it. Say that again?
And he's Colombian.
Yeah. He's talking about the very women that brothers are, you know, traveling to see. Now, you know, people have different perspectives of their own, you know, and they do. And women treat, you know, foreigners different than they treat locals who made it. And so yeah. I can't speak on his experience. You shouldn't ours.
It's interesting to hear that coming from a Colombian male perspective.
I thought it was very interesting that he would rather.
I've heard that before.
That he had it better in New York.
I can relate to what he's saying. Is like I had better experiences when I was broke because I've experienced that at home. I would say broke in a combination with having a different lifestyle.
Yeah, it is.
When I drank more, when I hung with a certain crowd that I shouldn't hang with, when I did more risky activities, I had better luck with that demographic. And that's not to say that I wouldn't attract anyone at this point in time, but I don't have to bash Black American women. I'm just looking at who's checking for me. Look what I got to choose from.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying don't judge. Don't judge. I remember I was to not from where he's from, but to a Latino man from Mexico. You know, and I'm like, man, how can y'all do that? And I was talking about something behavior that's induced through poverty. And and he's like, you can't judge. I forget what it was. It wasn't. I was never like ignorant. I understood, why a person would work like at a Home Depot or something like that. But it wasn't ignorant, but it was something that a naive 20-year-old would say. I forget exactly what it was, and he said, like, don't judge. You don't understand the level of poverty that we had there, and I really didn't. So, it was what it was. I think it was something along the lines of, you only went to the 6th grade. I think it was something along those lines. Like, how could you not just go to the 7th grade? But I haven't been in a position to where, my parents came to me and said, we don't have the money to send you to junior high. It's far. We don't have the money to send you to junior high. And furthermore, we need your hands on this field right now. So who am I to judge? Don't do that. Understand. Come here and learn. All right. I'm going to read this. And I appreciate the super chat. It says, let the record show Austin Holloman and Jay Rillo went viral the most and directly contributing to the degradation of Black men's image who travel overseas. Absolutely. So for him to say, how could y'all be that way? And, or Anton Daniels is just falling in line with the existing stereotype. That's really saying something, considering that they're a large part of the existing stereotype.
I hate that Jay Rello got off. Go ahead.
He was just trolling and trying to grift off of the stream and trying to be controversial.
Because he thought it was 80,000 people watching?
I mean, in Anton case, I believe that. But he got too many receipts on his own channel that contradicts him trolling in that way. Because Andre pulled up a whole bunch of receipts on him shouting out PassportBros. Like,
I saw
people
that,
in particular. Yeah, and he's naming names. Like, so to turn around and say, I don't know any of these people, it was like, come on, bro. What are you doing?
Oh, dang. I wish I could play it. My thing borgs from time to time. So.
Oh, yeah. He did a whole montage.
Like the 2-hour mark, he brought up that they did a show together. He shouted out other brothers. Then he's been on panels with females, and the females are like
being belligerent.
Yeah, so he just shut them all up with, look, this is why you got passport, bro. This is why you should get your passport.
Can I be honest with you?
Jay Rillo just said that he was talking like they was homies, like he met them and all this and this.
He didn't. Jay Rillo thinks they're homies, but he brought him up there to make fun of him because Jay Rillo got stranded in DR. Jay Rillo thinks they're cool, but
Jay Rillo. Go ahead.
But Anton doesn't do things out of empathy or kindness. It's always Faustian bargain with that nigga. So he doesn't do things off of the virtue of doing it. That's great. He's very a person like, oh, he's helping out. He has a God complex. So he came to him like, oh, I just want to interview you from your perspective. No, but he kind of inadvertently put Jay Rillo on the show to make a mockery of him because Jay Rillo got stuck in.
I can't stand niggas like that.
Yeah.
And look, we should be able to be like have the discernment to detect stuff like that.
No, there's just Jay Rillo. So you gotta understand. Let me tell you about what I've realized over my 3 decades on this planet. Niggas love attention, and it doesn't matter at what cost.
Where it's coming from. Man.
No, at what sacrifice is gonna cost them. If it means that their masculinity is going to be, or they're going to be emasculated, or they're going to be dehumanized, a lot of Black men, unfortunately, they don't even care as long as they get a little bit of attention. That's Black people in general, but with Black men, we have this penchant for, it don't matter the cost. If it's gonna cost me embarrassment or it's gonna make me look like an ass of myself, I'm willing to do it just for the attention. Look at Floyd Mayweather, went out in Staples Center, bought a whole bag of money and started counting it randomly on the courtside seats. Just started randomly took money out of the bag and started counting it while the game was going on. You sitting right next to Jay-Z. Niggas, this man is worth at least $500 million, but he felt the need to take up a stack of money during a Lakers game and count the money. And everybody was just watching him and he was on live. It's like you would think somebody that have that amount of money, when are you gonna see a white dude come up at a Lakers game or a Knicks game and just pick up a rack of money like a stack
Yeah,
of
they
money?
don't have to.
It costs out counting the money. You don't have to. You already assume he already knows people know he has money, whether or not he's famous or not. If you got courtside seats, we know you got bread. And see people saying Floyd was marketing. No, that wasn't.
Yeah, it's a distinction between the marketing and just that performative. I don't even know what to. I would say grifting, but who are they grifting to?
It's this incessant need to be liked and the lack of validation that we get growing up as Black men, that we feel as though we always have to validate our masculinity and humanity. That's why you have niggas when they feel it. I mean, it ties into what we're talking about now. If you say, you know what, I think there's better out there. What do you mean? You must hate Black women. I'm like, no, I just think I can do better. It's like, what?
Bro, this to me, a lot of this is a cycle in my own life because the way I look at traveling is the same way I look at living in Chicago. People thought I was crazy for wanting to get in a truck driving. They wanted me to go to school, go to college, and I tried that, but truck driving is what got me out of the neighborhood. It got me out of Chicago. And then I started traveling on my own. People said you shouldn't be traveling by yourself. Well, I wouldn't know the people that I know now. I wouldn't have had the experiences that I have now had I listened to those people. But I said, even with all of this, I'm not saying this to gloat or none. I'm saying like we need to at some point, especially after we've established ourselves, maintain some type of integrity. So when I see people doing these performative like antics, it just indicates a lack of integrity to me. This is my first time being on a stream with J Rello. I ran into him in Sasua. I was kicking it with Greg with Flip Flop, and we could have all hung out together, but I chose not to do that because no disrespect to him, but that's it's certain type of content I'm not interested in putting out myself. I will give them props as far as like Austin Holloman because I like his content, especially the transition he's been making now. Um, Jay Rello, I'm not as familiar with his stuff, but the only time I hear about him is when people are making a mockery of him. I
But
don't
this
know
is
if he's
why I
gonna
know.
be receptive. Go ahead,
And
go
I
ahead.
cut you off. I know why he was trolling. Floyd J Rello has already admitted on BMT's live that he doesn't consider himself a passport bro. He's doing this because he's trying to get views, and he does it in any way possible that he can leech off of people. He already admitted that he's like, hey, when he got stranded the first time in Sasua, which was a big marketing thing. He's like, oh, I'm stranded here, and I need people to. He started like a little GoFundMe. He's like, send money.
I
To
remember that. I remember that.
And then you know what happened? Everybody and their mama was making
Viral.
videos. Passport Bros stranded in Sasua. They can't even afford to fly back. It's like, dog. Meanwhile, I'm looking at this while I'm in Europe, and I'm like, bro, like, why is it that everybody? So, like, basically, let me get this straight. If you're Black, and let's say you kidnap orphans in Romania, what is it gonna be like? Oh, passport bro, steals orphans in Romania. Like, come on, like every nigga that goes outside of the country is a passport bro. So I always ask people when they make these outlandish claims, I'm like, okay, what makes somebody a passport bro? And
So that means
they can't give me a definitive answer to this. So it's like if something means everything, then it means nothing.
Right.
so as real. So that means that there's a high need for there to be a delineation
I
within
know
the
what you're gonna say, but how can you
within the passport bros.
this is my thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. People always bring that up. How can you make a delineation when everybody has their own autonomy? If you found out right now, me or I'm not saying necessarily you, Marcus, but if me and Marcus were involved in drug trafficking in the jungles of Peru, or you gonna be like, oh, Passport Bro was caught in a narco sting in Peru. Like, come on, like it does not make any sense.
It is stupid. Yeah.
I don't even bother trying to make a delineation, but I will call out some effery when I see it.
Well, there is no barrier of entry into the passport bro-ness. So, I mean, and, they can't really kick people out. There was a show there was a show. Somebody came up with the bright idea of doing a reality TV show for Divine Nine sorority chicks, and it's just like every other reality TV show with all the ratchetry and stuff like that. And these organizations, aka Deltas, et cetera, decided to get together and kick them out. They booted them.
Yeah.
They like, listen, you know, you can't be a part of our organization representing us this way. You know, you're going on. You're using the fact that you are one of us, and you know, to tarnish the brand of us. We're not going to have. This is like in 2008. We're not going to have that. So you got to go. So Passport Bros aren't really set to that way to where they can do that thing.
And
you know, they put a barrier entry to get in, and they kick you out if you do not meet a certain image. They haven't reached that point yet.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna give people demerits. We're gonna remove their Passport Bro badge. We're gonna take away their license. Like, you can't punish, nor can you reward people. You can be like, oh, right. have you filled a quota this year? I'm like, no, you can't. It's just to make it seem as though if you put the jacket, as they say, figuratively, on everybody, then anybody can be considered something. So then you give leeway to say whatever black man is doing, that means all black men are doing. And the ironic thing is, as black people, we hate when other races of people do that to us. When one black person does something wrong, we hate when we get lumped into what everybody else is doing, but we doing the same exact shit. Excuse my French, but
it didn't make you think, man. Motherfucker gotta go to when you go to overseas, you gotta wear a shirt that says you know, I'm the good passport bro, something like that.
I've heard niggas say, this one guy who's weirdo, he got like black nails and stuff like that. He's on TikTok. So, oh my God, these passport bros are gonna make it hard for me to travel overseas. I'm like, dude, not only do no one gives a F about you when you travel,
they don't.
Like, no one knows about, like, bro, I can go to a place in the middle of China or in the middle of Eastern Europe, and you ask someone what a passport bro is, they're gonna look at you like, what? No one knows. That's
the good thing about traveling. That's all. It's a lot of propaganda being placed here to keep people from moving, but you get to set your own reputation wherever you are.
That's it, bro. Like, in a lot of these places, their algorithm doesn't even touch ours.
Right.
Like, they don't. This is the thing.
And you wanna know it's crazy? The main time that it did, and they shut it down real quick, was when there were sisters criticizing women of other countries, and those women started clapping back. That was the only time that I remember, and it was like, okay, see, this out of our hands right now. Like, this is a conversation that we didn't even start. Y'all did that.
Right. It was in the Philippines, but people don't understand, like, a lot of these Asian countries, not only do they have VPS, bro, you know, I tried to watch Hulu and I was in Portugal, and I couldn't even watch certain shows. I couldn't watch certain animes because it wasn't. Yeah, I was in certain parts of Europe, like some animes I can't watch.
Oh, well, sure. You should have hollered at me, boy. I could have got you the hookup. You hear me?
No, I'm just saying. But what my point proving is that certain things are going to be omitted out because from that country, the country has more jurisdiction. Yeah, the country has more jurisdiction. And another thing too, this is why it's very hard to do sometimes live out the country with certain jobs, because I'm trying to do taxes, right? But I'm trying to do it remotely. I tried to like do the online course while I was on vacation, and for the life of me, I couldn't get to the end to the launch clicking, like how to click on to launch the course. I could not. It would just refresh it back to the beginning. It kept doing. I was on it for like 10 minutes straight, and then I was asking somebody about that. They said, "Oh, it's probably not available in that country." I went online and I'm like, damn. So when people talk about, oh, they're going to ruin, Passport Bros are going to ruin it for for other people in the country, most people don't even know about the things that go on outside of just knowing like what goes on with Trump and whatnot. A lot of people don't.
That's a scare tactic anyway.
Yeah, like, bro, another thing too, in China, bro, they don't even have the same Facebook as us. In a lot of Asian countries, they don't even share the same Facebook. So
I mean, I see, like, you know, if a black man go there, you know, whether in a group or single, you know, all you gotta do is make sure you uphold like the highest degree of modesty, you know, and that's it. You know, I mean, it will it will be like it will become your aura, and those people, they're the locals, they will sense it, especially too when you show them that you got good manners and you're not on no pookieism, passport pookieism, and you're fine.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying it's
yeah, I
impossible.
mean, I think that there is a level. I mean, you don't want to be there like some Jim Crow era Negro that's that can't look whitey in the eye, because then that is a sign of weakness. And you want to be yourself, but understand that you have the burden of the black male reputation on your shoulders.
Well, you can't go over there being like on some American jackass joker asshole type of shit. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's balance. It's balance.
It's interesting. That's hard. In my experience, that's never really us. I've seen that among other people, but it don't be us. That's what's hilarious to me about these shaming tactics and scare tactics.
Because here you see, I noticed they have a thing where, okay, I noticed this in dudes. They will purposely be an asshole and a jackass, especially when it comes to groups, when there's groups of people around, just so they can absorb some kind of admiration, which is some ass backwards shit.
From my experience, I will say this. I'll put money on it. Black men are probably the most well-behaved when we come out to the country. Because I've seen it in Japan. And I have friends, shout out to my friends that are from Australia that I'm real cool with. But let me tell you, in Japan and definitely in Thailand, they're known. I've seen it in Japan, but in Thailand, they're known when they get drunk, the spirit of the Irish start to kick in with them. Like, I've heard of some crazy ass stories, and I've seen it myself, like walking through Shinjuku, and I see like a group of Australian dudes kicking cans like down like streets and stuff like that. And then me and my uncle looking at them, and then they just stop. Right? Because it's like you want to make sure that you're on your best behavior, bro. And I'm telling you, like, it goes a long way. I've seen more of Australian dudes just acting up there than I have seen black. You know who gets arrested the most whenever they go out the country? Let's keep it 100. It's black women that be getting arrested, bro.
And speaking of which, Azrael, bro, I think one of y'all posted it in the Discord. Yeah, there was, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. There's a black woman overseas in Asia that got basically drugged in the street by an Asian woman. She got beat. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And most of the time, a lot of people, the people that are,
I mean, black women.
Go ahead, GC.
I was going to say black women have a vested interest in black men having a bad reputation internationally. And unfortunately, they do have some sway. They do have some influence on how other people perceive us. They're supposed to be a reflection of us. So they have a vested reason to go to other countries and destroy the reputation of black people. They do. That's not an accident. They're not, they're going to these countries.
Would you say
it's not an accident. It's by design.
No, I'm asking, like, has it been effective?
No, you know why
I don't know.
this?
Well, right quick, I don't know, because I think that even people in America now are looking at black men and black women as two separate animals. To keep it a buck, they're looking at us as completely two separate minority groups. So basically, black women can now only destroy the reputation of black women.
Right. But
I don't know if that's true overseas, but maybe it is.
I would say it is. You know why? Because my parents are Jamaican, right? When Hurricane Melissa came, I could show you clips. There were black women demanding that they get better food from the hotel, and they were like, why aren't there anybody in the hotel? And why is there no workers in the hotel? We can't eat this kind of food. This is unacceptable. And the Jamaican people there had to tell them, like, ma'am, some of the people had to leave because they have to go home and prepare for the hurricane that's coming and get their families ready. And they're like, no, this is unacceptable. We can't hear this. And bro, all of the Jamaican TikTok were cursing them out. Like,
what the fuck is wrong with those bitches?
I can show you guys clips.
It's an American mentality. They sound more Karen than Karen with that.
And my mom was pissed. They were like, why would you go? They were like, you don't think there's a reason why plane tickets to Jamaica was cheap in the middle of like September? Because that's hurricane season. It's like, why would you go in the middle of hurricane season to Jamaica? You know? Or then they showed this one girl, Accountable Commentary did a video on this. She literally went and bought tickets like right before the storm came. She didn't even try to like decline them or anything like that. And it wasn't, them tickets weren't even like, to go to Jamaica cost less than to go to Colombia. So we talking like less than $300.
They mad because they couldn't get their thighs rubbed on.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it's crazy. Like from the satellites, Jamaica is a whole totally different place. The hurricane literally messed up the landscape, right? The landmass. Wow. So my thing is, why would you go in the middle of a hurricane? That's like me going to Florida in the middle of going to like Miami in the middle of September. Like that's the worst time to go. Why would you better off going in the summertime than right in the, because hurricane season is like late August into like late October. So I just never understood. I mean, but they were adamant talking about we expect better service, and then they were complaining at the airport. So yeah, that there are no, and it wasn't black men there, because really black.
That's an example.
Yeah, the only reason why you're gonna go to Jamaica as a black man is unless your parents are black. I mean, or parents are Jamaican. So, like, black women go there for vacation all the time, right? So. They are creating a reputation for themselves, for sure.
Sorry, fellas, I'm eating. But yeah, and I noticed that in the States where I was talking to not talking to her, but I was, communicating the best I can, given the language barrier with the Colombian girl. And, she brought up Black American women before I did. To make a long story short, I made it clear that I was more interested in her friend who was overweight. I was more interested in her than I was her friend who was overweight. She was an overweight Colombian woman. And then she said, you like big girls? And then I was like, no. But then she took it to, I didn't want Black American girls. And she started doing the neck roll and stuff like that. And she was like, you like that, huh? And I was like, dang. So it spreads. It spreads. She's like, that's not my type. So it's people are aware that it's completely two different cultures. And, when Black American women look like, and people know that the fatigue is more heavily weighed on one side than the other. They know who's going to be loud in a place that they're not supposed to be loud. They know who's more likely to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with the brother that said that Black men tend to be on either better behavior or just not the people that you look at like, okay, there was a stab and it was a big fight. I wonder who did that.
Right.
The whole negative stereotypes of the usual suspects, that's never us in other countries. I'm in the military. I've never been to Japan, but I've heard of some of the things that happen with service members in Japan, and they mess it up for the whole, like almost every branch, especially the Navy and the Marines, because one person do something stupid, that kind of mess it up for everybody.
But it depends also too, because like if you go to Okinawa, right? Okinawa, have you been to New York before?
Only on connecting flights. Nah.
Okay. So all right, put it this way. It would be like going from, like, let's say somebody lives in, okay, GC, you might understand this. Somebody lives in Sacramento. If New York City is Sacramento, if Sacramento is Tokyo, Okinawa is like right on San Diego, like right next to Tijuana. Like it takes almost half the day to get there. So it's not like it's an immediate place where it's like right next to Tokyo. It's a totally separate part of the country. and that's the military base, and it's known for all types of crazy stuff. Even the chicks there, they look hood as hell. I hate to say it, but they
they
look a
cater
little.
to those type of dudes.
Yeah, a
Oh
lot of
hell
black dudes
no.
that go there. They're a little bit more hood. Let me tell you something too. When you go to Japan, the further out you go, like the further out that you go to the beach, you're gonna see more girls with like tattoos and looking more like they're not
Like
gonna
American ass.
yeah
Or
they're gonna
Western ass. Western.
yeah
I
they're not
noticed.
gonna have the kawaii look.
I noticed that. I'm not gonna call Oriental women stupid, but
Who you
they
said what?
haven't.
What
I said
kind
I'm
of
not gonna
woman?
call Oriental women stupid,
Oh,
but many of them, from what I noticed in my travels, they haven't really come to the reasonable conclusion that the men that travel aren't looking for a mimic of the women that they left.
unfortunately, I gotta disagree with you because a lot of guys do just they enable it with the
Yeah,
guy.
I've the
Well, I
blazing
think an
type. Yeah,
attractive woman is an attractive woman. Okay, for example, right? I was with this girl in the Philippines, and she put our skin together, and she was like, "You see, we black and brown, right?" I was like, "Well, more or no, we're black and white." And I was like, "Well, more like black and brown or black and yellow, right?" And she said, "No, no, no. American men like white women." And I was like, "Well, why are they here then?"
Mm.
Like, why are they here if they like white women?
right.
Just she didn't make that connection, and then they put all that crap on their skin. Once again, I understand that this social conditioning and all that stuff, but it just come off like you do realize that they didn't leave Australia to come here to find a Filipino woman who's
Another.
behaving
Yeah,
like an Australian woman. Like
I'm a little
I
guilty of that. As far as what the brother said on, I do like the blazing chicks. The
oh
kind
yeah, but
of
that's sexy.
yeah. But I know what he's saying. They kind of adapt their presentation to something
Yeah,
that they know brothers like,
yeah.
but I
I'm
don't
talking
like
about the cultural
the
behavior.
mannerism.
It's
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
we
no,
don't
the
want the
look is
How
okay.
mannerism.
I don't mind a Blasian look. I don't mind the dark lipstick, and then when they braid the front of it, they do the top of the hair
Right.
cornrows, and then they do the. I like that, like a Bratz
oh,
doll.
Me too. Me
I
too.
like that.
Just
However,
without the mannerisms.
keep the mannerisms and attitude to yourself. You see, that's what that fat broad K was doing to Austin. Like Austin found the one fat chicken.
Oh wait a minute. Oh, what the hell? He fucking with fat chicks, GC?
No, I'm talking about way back when. Like, when he was messing with Kay from
Yeah.
Thailand.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, like I mean, she was doing that with him, and I'm like, wait, she just mushed your face on your own show in front of everybody. So it was
I would have
weird that he
definitely
was still
cut that
doing
part out. Yeah, you would know what that
exactly.
would have never made the light of day. Batman couldn't get that out of me, man. But let me say this though, with Blasians, they act a little hoodish because unfortunately they do get bullied in school and they're very ostracized. So they
Where?
have in Japan.
Yeah, if their
Okay.
beauty standards are more fair skinned, then that's
Yeah,
what I like. Like I like that with Morena Latinas, like dark skinned Latinas and the Blasians. That's my type. Whereas, like you said,
That's
culturally
everybody's type.
but yeah, but in their own culture, they may be looked over for the light bright proximity to whiteness type chicks.
Well,
yeah.
I was
Blasian.
talking to a Blasian. Right. I was talking to a Blasian. I didn't get that from her.
Where did she grow
That
up?
she was bullied, huh?
Where did she grow up?
Philippines.
Okay,
She said that she was born in Sacramento.
That's why.
But her mother was deported and took her. So in addition to you being mixed, she also wasn't a citizen. So she didn't have like whatever they have that's the equivalent to a social security card there, which made employment difficult for her and stuff like that. So she was in a bind. That's at least that's the story she told me.
Yeah.
But she didn't mention anything and all of the colorist stuff, the whitening that they put in their lotions and all that crap.
Yeah.
all those issues that they have don't really apply to her. Like the issue that they have is if a Asian woman, if a Filipina been in the sun too long. But if that's just your natural color, that's just your natural color.
Wait a minute, I didn't know they apply whitening in their makeup. That's a new one on me.
Yeah, you got to go. It's in everything. I was cracking up when I seen it. Everything that touches the woman's skin, even soap. Yeah, it's in everything.
Look weird because it's like you can tell it's unnatural. They look like pale face on purpose.
They don't even work. As far as I notice, it don't even work. They're just putting the crap on their skin.
I've seen makeup, like the makeup that some chicks use to look super. Yeah, they make themselves look lighter than what they are.
I want to.
Maybe the Asians that do that, right? I think the percentage of Asians that do that, for what I've gathered, I think they're doing that because out of pressure by family and peers, or to appeal to their own man.
No, it's a combination of white supremacy.
Well, they don't do it here, Ray. They don't do it here, but I do agree that their men do prefer lighter.
And I'm gonna say this too. In Korea, it is ruthless. Like a chick, let's say what we would consider like skinny, slim, not like. I'll put it this way: what Meg Thee Stallion looks like now, not back in the day, but what they look like now.
No, I'm joking.
They will consider that fat in Korea. Like they will call a woman a pig in a heartbeat. Like to the point, it's beauty standards is so. This is why I say like women in America don't know how easy they have it.
They don't.
In Korea, by the time you're 18, you're already getting almost like how you have like credit cards will come in the mail. Like they already have messages and like mail that comes to you like would you like to get any kind of plastic surgery by the time you turn 18, because for your I forgot what it's called, your curricular vitae, but like the CV, basically your resume, they judge you based off of, especially for women, off of your looks. You can't get certain jobs in South Korea if you look a certain way.
And that's why that too?
You said what?
Is China like that too?
China, yes.
I noticed that.
But China is not as big. Like, because the reason why people don't know too, people always say, oh, the 4B movement is the reason why I have a small birth rate. No, it's really because of multiple things. Their biggest city, Seoul, it's so concentrated. It's like, imagine if half the country in America lived in New York, right? I'm talking about the whole of the state, not just New York City, but just all of New York. And the only other place was Texas and California, right? So what happened is, because no one wants to leave, they actually try to create cities. I forgot what cities called, Seong-dong or something like that. So they tried to create like these artificial cities. But what happened is people didn't want to move. Why? Because most of the great jobs and the great schools are in Seoul. So no one wanted to move, but it's gotten so condensed. But it's like if you move, then there's a low chance of you getting into the top schools. And if you're not in the top schools, that means you can't get the top jobs. Right. So that's why they're having an issue. But here's the thing. Once you're in a big city like that, that means that everything is going to be super high. So you're not going to be able to afford childcare. So that's their issue. They tried to create a second city. They actually created 2 other cities, but people didn't move because they figure if I go to those cities, it's like, okay, instead of going to New York, I'm gonna go to Indiana or Tennessee. But if I try to apply for certain jobs, they're gonna see that, oh, I went to school in Tennessee and Indiana instead of Columbia or NYU, and I'm not gonna get hired. That's their issue, right? That's one of their big issues. But to what I was saying too, that's why you notice they have those eyelid surgeries that a lot of people in Korea get. Koreans are known for, of course, not only the K-pop stuff, but quote unquote having that glassy skin. Like they are to the extreme with it. They actually, matter of fact, and not to be so long-winded, but they buy more Louis Vuitton than we do in America. People don't know that either. So
they probably make it.
You said what?
They probably make it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah. But my point is like the whole concept of having glassy skin. Even the men want to have glassy looking skin, and the beauty standards are extreme. Like it's cutthroat. So, you know. In America, women got it really easy. Because Lizzo's a 10.
I agree.
Here, so.
Prime says South Asian women. I like half black and Filipino. In fact, Miss Universe is half black Filipino.
Oh yeah, I remember. She's pretty. I've seen her before.
Yeah, so the whole stigma with dark skin don't really apply when you're mixed, at least in Philippines.
And speaking of Filipino women, are you guys subscribed to Filipino P?
Yeah.
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 I'm like,
There's another one
man,
that's
she's
really good. Smart Girl Philippines.
She's
Ray, are you there, or is that me?
No, I think he dropped out, but he's coming back.
You muted.
No. I said shit. I can devour her, boy. You hear me? Man, she's so lovely.
You know another thing too, and
I like her class and demeanor, but like many Filipinas, she don't have no titties. And what's unique to her is that her ears pop out a lot. However, natural hair, slim waist, golden skin. Let's see, flawless complexion. Yeah, she get it.
And they speak English well too.
Now, see, I like them thick now, damn it, up to the max, like to them horse thighs kind of shit. I like them
just
thick.
live in Memphis.
No, motherfucker, I don't live no damn Memphis. Yeah.
Well, where do you live?
But now, shit, Humbuck, Tennessee.
Well, that's worse. You live in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of biggins where you are. But keep it a buck.
No. Anyway, let me finish, nigga. Nigga Roshi. Let me finish. Look, I'm talking about this, right? I'm like, damn. What I was about to say was that, nigga, my typical would be like, okay, I'm attracted to that. I like that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I like a girl thick and shit like that. Horse thighs and shit. But if I had a choice between Filipino P and one of these thickums, I'm gonna choose Filipino P.
Let me tell you something.
What I'm saying, because you got people in the chat room like, I'm from Memphis. Listen, what I'm saying is that people who live in places that have an abnormal concentration of big women, tell themselves that they prefer that only because they were forced to settle. It's nothing wrong with that. When you're in prison, you eat prison food. And when you're in non-Memphis, Tennessee, you eat big women. But don't pretend like that's your preference.
He said you eat big women.
Your preference is Filipino P-shaped women. Women are supposed to either flip or float when you throw them in the air. And Filipina P looks like she can do both. That's the truth.
Yeah, because I know my girl Utada Hikaru, boy. Yeah, the famous pop and R&B singer over there in Japan. She'll get it with the quickness, boy, and she we're thick.
Yeah. But no, there's I noticed in China too that women look like their job. Like the stewardess look like stewardess. Like when you close your eyes and you think of what a stewardess should look like, they look like that. They like everybody look like the actor that they would hire to be that. Like, so I do notice that some places they look for somebody who looks like their job. Like, how librarians and teachers look a certain way? It seems like they are deliberately going out their way to hire somebody that look like the thing that they work at. It's weird. But the stewardess were like taller than an average China woman. And they did have that hairdo that stewardess have, and that's not necessarily true in the States. So I know what you're talking about, how some Asian countries like to hire people who look a certain way. Somebody says Nashville has a lot of attractive women too. I don't know. I just assume whenever I hear somebody say I like them thick, they come from a place. I've never been to Tennessee, but I don't know. I'm speaking in the wind, but I just assume when I hear Ray talking and he say I like them thick, that they come from a place where they serve chitlins at restaurants.
That's why I like nigga Roshi, but damn it, but am I fucking with him? No, I'm in monk mode, motherfucker. 3 years.
Okay. What is that? BGS said something, and I was like, "Do that mean that you don't have sex?" because monks don't have sex, and he said no, you still do. And then he got mad, and he never really explained what exactly it means. So maybe you could tell me.
I mean, well, my definition is is more akin to that. Like, I mean, abstaining, keeping the mind clean, and then storing it with things that are, more creativity and more greatness, but also to show that you have that discipline and control of yourself, so therefore, so you can see the battlefield more clearly. You can't see it more clearly if your mind and face is all up in some bitch's cooch. You know what I mean? So, but nah, I'm understanding because they're too fucking vile, man. They're too much of a risk, man. One state you hear them, and the STDs is skyrocketed and shit. Then what? New York, Houston. Oh hell no! And there's no telling too, damn it, if these motherfucking if those heifers are spreading out to other states and shit. Oh hell no! These bitches damn it eating other man's asses and shit. I mean, you don't want no bitch close to your damn face and shit, and she got another man's ass breath and shit. No, you know what I mean? No, man, you hearing that shit? What that bitch Sukiana in there? Come on, I don't even want to repeat the shit. Whatever she said in London. Fuck that. And then there's other bitches following that damn trend, and I can't help them. And every time that when I do, damn it, hell, watch a porno and shit to release, because that's all your nigga Roshi need right here is, what I mean, shit, a good 5 minutes then with these damn 5 fingers and lotion, and I'm good. Mine's cleansed. I got it out of me, bitch. Like, you ain't going, ain't no leading with my wallet over here, bitch. No.
Hanma said.
Okay, so your definition of monk mode is what I suspected it was. So BGS has a different definition.
Yeah, because GG, which is the nickname I give him for. It's a kanji for old geezer, old man.
Okay,
I give him that. I'll be like, "What's up, GG?" But
I'm not gonna make this a roast session for BGS, but no, it's interesting. And yeah, I do find it a little off-putting. I was asked very young.
Yes, sir.
By a woman who won't eat my ass. I don't really have a desire to have my ass eaten.
No, I mean, like, that's what I was going to get into. Yeah.
So I do understand why you were put off by that. Well, I
mean, because every corn video I see, like when I just want to, and that's like once every fucking 2-3 weeks, and every time, damn it, I'm like, oh my god, bitch, why is he raising up? Why is he doing the Fantastic say? Why is he giving the Lamborghini legs? Why is he doing that? Raising his legs up and shit, so she can eat his ass. I'm like, oh hell no! I'm like, yeah, I can't even watch porn now. Then I gotta go back watch the old shit.
No, I watch it. I mean, I don't watch that part. I think my algorithm is set to just avoid that. So
yeah, because I got the free shit.
I think my algorithm is set to avoid that. Yeah.
Make sure you get VPN.
No, it's not my cup of tea, but I understand that there are men out there that like it. So fellas, would you say that when we talked about like the country with the highest concentration of beautiful women, and I mentioned Ethiopia, would you say that the country, whatever country you believe have that highest concentration, for you traveled brothers, would you say that those are black countries, are primary black countries?
Can you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry.
Which country do you believe have the highest concentration of beautiful women?
Oh, Brazil.
And yeah, I was gonna say, in my experience, Brazil, and I want to say Venezuela, ironically, because I've met a lot of Venezuelans in Colombia.
I have too.
I mean, is it tied between Colombia and Brazil? Because boy, that even tone copper skin, boy, man, that shit look delicious, son.
To me, I would say, I'm gonna be honest, I would say for a runner-up, it would be Brazil, and then runner-up would be like France, because it's a mixture of everything. I mean, I always say this to people: the best-looking African woman leave and go to Paris.
Now, a second that I would say is kind of out of my league, I haven't figured out how to approach it yet, is Middle Eastern women.
Really?
Oh.
Like Bahrain, Qatar,
Oh,
Dubai.
Lebanon, yeah. Beirut over there.
Yeah, they baddies, but I ain't never had no experiences with them.
They're bad here. Some women look good here, but when you go back to where they came from, they be regular.
Yeah, Brazil.
You're saying that
I
they
would
look good
look
in
for
their
that.
country?
Yeah, from what I've seen.
Okay.
But you don't see them alone. They always either with a group of females or with their family or with the husband.
I was gonna say, I think Brazil has the most diversity. Like,
I agree.
Anything that you want is there. It'll be like going to a candy store, bro. Like, it literally is like any type of candy you ever thought existed is there in Brazil, and it's not just Rio. Like, it's just from I just man, it's just mestizo. You talking about karaoke?
Well, not just that. Go for it.
Oh no. But yeah, like I mean, you talking about from the darkest of dark to like the lightest of light, and in between, and in between the in betweens. So it's
what's
just
interesting about Brazil is that the mosquitoes don't look a certain way, which is what set them aside from places like Colombia and stuff like that. They like have whole different types of mosquitoes, like the dark skin with natural blue, green eyes, or the ones that look completely white with natural dreads. Like their black white mixture DNA just wound up all over the place in a good way. That being said, as far as South American women go, I would probably have to side with Marcus and say Venezuelans.
What about the
I've never
chick in the
been to
link I
Venezuela.
sent you? The
Okay, I'll
Brazilian
check
chick.
it out. Yeah. I never been to Venezuela, but the immigrant population in other places that I've been, including Dominican Republic, is key. And one thing I noticed about Venezuelans is that I think that they think that they're the hot chick of Afro Latinas. You want to know how I know this? Because when they give me their number, they put the word Venezuelan next to their name.
Yeah, to put that extra.
Like, just to remind you, I'm Venezuelan. It's almost like they behave the way black women feel light-skinned women behave.
right.
Like, my name is Chantel Light-Skinned. I've experienced that. I was like, why are you putting, because we were in the first time it happened to me, we were in the Dominican. And I'm like, why did you put Venezuelan in your name? Does that, you're an attractive woman, but that doesn't make me want to fuck you more? Like, what was that about? They do that. They make it a point when they introduce themselves as if I care, that they're Venezuelan. I was in Medellin, and it was a group of 4 girls. I approached, try to shoot my shot. Turns out that they're prostitutes, and I was like, okay, and they gave me a number, and it was like, but I'm Venezuelan. Like, they kept just saying that we're Venezuelan. Why do you keep saying that?
I think to make that distinction between the Colombianas, I'm not sure. That's
Why do
happened to
they
me
think
in
I care?
conversations.
Yeah, this was
Good
conversation.
question.
I'm telling, like,
No, I'm saying,
why
like,
do they
but
think that
they
I
never
care?
put. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. But I've never had that experience where they saved the number and put Venezuelan by the way. But it would just
No,
come
just
up
say,
like
by the way,
after
it said like Maria Venezuelan.
I know, yeah, that's why I'm laughing. So
Yeah.
they got to put their signature on it. No, I would
Yeah.
just be attracted and start a conversation or get in contact with them, and I'm just looking at some attractive Latina. Then later they mention like, oh, well, I'm not Colombian, I'm Venezuelan. I'm like, oh, okay. This is a reoccurring thing. Like every time I think I got the baddest Colombian, it's a Venezuelan.
Yeah. I will admit that you do perk up more when you hear certain things. I remember when I first seen, what's her name? Like Rosie Perez. Rosie Perez. I was like, what the fuck is that? On Do the Right Thing. And they was doing like the whole thing, fight the power. And she had the boxing gloves and the titties was bouncing. I was like, what the hell is that? That's not Mexican. It was something I've never seen, but we don't have those. I'm in California. We don't really have Dominicans here. We have Mexicans. So I was like, what the hell is that? And I like it. And I was like, Dominican. So every time, like later when I got older and I heard someone was Dominican, I'm like, ooh, shit, Dominican. I know what that is. That's a Rosie Perez thing. So maybe they're going for that type of effect. Like they're making it clear, like, I'm not like the other Spanish that you meet. I'm Venezuelan. That's what they sounded like to me. That crap was funny. So apparently it is a country that's going through a lot of hardship, including the ones that we're putting on them now, and a lot of beautiful women, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of people have told me that. A lot of people.
Wait, she's Puerto Rican? I could have swore she was Dominican. Somebody said she's Puerto Rican.
She's Puerto Rican. No, yeah.
There was this one Venezuelan model that was on one of Drake's videos
for over 20 years.
Because of her accent.
Are you kidding me?
From New York.
She's been Dominican. No, somebody told me they lied.
Somebody
told me when I was very young. I'd never heard the word Dominican before. I swear.
Who's Dominican? It's the girl that was in the movie with Ray Allen and Denzel, Jesus Shuttleworth. I think she's Dominican. I forgot her name.
I don't know what that movie is. Somebody told me that Rosie Perez was Dominican, and I believed them for a long ass time. Until right now. But my bad. My bad.
Rosario Dawson, I think it is. Yeah, Rosario Dawson. She's
Oh.
But she's
so they got similar names.
There's some Venezuelan models though too. They look decent. Some are tall. This one tall chick, boy, she looked good too. She was in one of Drake's videos.
Yeah, that's true. All right, y'all have any final thoughts? I'm about to shut down.
Brothers, stop dick policing. Stop hating on man traveling, and be more happy for your fellow man and receive joy from his joy.
Agreed.
I want to second what that brother said. That's all I got to say. And thank you for having us on.
I want to say ditto to that too. And brothers, try to learn another language too. It don't help. It doesn't hurt. Just work on it every day. And you never know. You meet a nice chick. I say either try to learn Spanish, Portuguese, or French, and you'll be surprised at the wonders it do. That's about it. But thank you for having me on.
Yeah, right, thanks for having me on, brother.
Appreciate it.
Right, yeah, and check out that link too in the back too. That Brazilian chick. At least look at her thumbnails and see what I'm saying.
Okay, I'll check out all the links.
All right, brother.
Okay, all right, peace. And yeah, with that, yes, don't dick police and don't allow yourself to be dick policed. Let these Anton Daniels type dudes of the world know that you have no jurisdiction here. You have no jurisdiction over my dick. You cannot dictate what my dick takes. Let them know. And let them know that their shaming tactics more than anything is not going to work. Oh, you're not cool. You're not player. You're not hood. What about what the OGs is? Leave that noise at wherever it is you come from, in the clouds. Leave that noise on Cloud City. I do not care what you think is hood or what's player or what's boss or what's G or whatever colloquialism you could come up with. I don't care. And let them know that. I do it because I wanna. Let them know. You don't have to live up to their standards of what they perceive to be cool, because guess what? Their standards seem to always require female validation, meaning that the women determine if you're cool or not. I'm not going to live by that rule or that standard. With that, oh, wait a minute. I missed a super chat. My bad. I want to catch them all, like Ash Ketchum. Okay, sorry about that, brother. Ray Loneless said, been a passport bro for 3 years. Hey, congratulations, brother. And it's the best decision I've made. That's what's up. I have several options in the States, but the return on investment from my lady in the DR is dollars. Okay. I don't know if that's supposed to mean something else with the dollar signs. You're saying that your investment with your girl in the DR is getting you dollars or saving you dollars. I guess that's where the disconnect is. Because I would agree that it is a savior in dollars in dealing with international women, because quite frankly, it costs less time, money, and energy, most important time, to seduce and sustain with most women overseas and otherwise. So absolutely, if you find yourself in that situation where, you know, you can buy a stove and be treated like a king, but, you know, you can spend that same $200 to get a woman's nails done and she treats you like crap, or maybe let you hit it one time on some starfish stuff, then yeah, you're not getting the return on investment here than you are there. Unfortunately, there's a large financial need from Western women that they look to you to fulfill, that they're not really returning what the cost suggests. So absolutely. Thank you for that. Leave no super chat and cash app behind. With that said, I want to thank the super chats and cash apps, the members, managers, and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. Hit the like button on your way out. And this is Game Changer 00100. Game over. Peace.